God speaks very often to us and utilizes many mediums to convey his messages. However, due to the ignorance of some mediums that God utilizes, many people have missed the will of God. There is a special way that many people didn't know that God often utilized to speak unto us, and that is the God feeling. God said to Elijah during the time of famine in Israel, saying, "Arise, get thee to Zarephath, which belonged to Zidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a widow woman there to sustain thee." God said he had already commanded the woman, but when Elijah got to the woman didn't initially welcome the idea of giving Elijah any food. Elijah had to explain to the woman that she just has to feed him and the flour will not be exhausted. Immediately Elijah said those words to this woman. A gut feeling agreed with the words of Elijah. The woman doesn't even believe that Elijah was a prophet. It was after her son was raised from death by Elijah that she confessed, "Now by this I know that thou art a man of God, and the word of the Lord in thy mouth is truth." This woman agreed with her gut feeling, and she risked her last meal to feed someone who claimed to be a prophet. But that gut feeling was the command of God unto her. Many of us are expecting the audible voice of God in a thunderous way, and whatever ways we may have been accustomed to. But sometimes God speaks to us through our gut feeling. He's telling us to go ahead with the business. He's telling us to do away with that sin. He's telling us to cater for a neighbor's need, and we have to yield. There was another woman evangelist that God called through her gut feeling, and she told Jesus, "I perceive that thou art a prophet." And she called an entire city to Jesus. The thief by the right side of the cross agreed with his gut feeling and confessed what he doesn't even understand, and mercy shone forth for him. I have personally spoken to many people who have heard God's words through their gut feeling but didn't know and couldn't follow through due to ignorance. All those holy desires in your heart, all those desires to do the will of God, all those passion for righteousness and to overcome weakness are not just God's feeling, they are God's voice through the medium of God's feeling. All you need is to judge your gut feeling if it goes in accordance with the scripture, and if it agrees with scripture, as the scripture also warned us to judge all voices, then you are good to go. It's God's voice unto you.